cute little purse. I hope you enjoy it, and if you like it, share it, and subscribe, and just let your friends know about it. The first thing I'm going to do is basically go over the pieces that you'll be needing for this bag. The first you'll be needing for that, you'll be needing two contrasting fabrics. So two types of fabrics. For the outer part of the bag, you'll need two 16 by 14 pieces. This is a brown, khaki, or cream color suede material. So this is going to be my outside fabric. You need two 16 by 14 pieces. And then you're going to need an inner fabric. So you're going to need the same size, 16 by 14, but a contrasting color. So, or if you want, you can use the same color. It really is up to you. So again, you're going to need two pieces of this also. On this bag, there also are going to be pockets. For your pockets, for that outside, again, it's going to be the same color as the outside of the bag. So you're going to have one 16 by 7 piece. I'm sorry. Two 16 by 7 pieces for that outside. And then also two 16 by 7 inner pieces, inner fabric pieces. Alright, you're also going to need, of course, some scissors, any type of scissors that you have. You're going to need some pins. You're going to need a ruler, small one. You're going to need some buckles. You can see them, but some buckles. And then you're going to need some snaps. I won't be using a zipper, so you're going to need some snaps for that. Some snaps. You see that? So, let's get started. I'll go ahead and reposition this camera so you can see what I have on the desk. So, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take one piece of that outer fabric with the pretty side facing up, and then you're going to take one piece of the inner fabric, one with the same size, with the pretty side facing down. So pretty sides should be facing each other. Next, what you're going to do, I forgot to mention something else you're going to need is, again, a piece of this strap. Any type of fabric you want to use for the strap. You can use a piece of the actual fabric. I'm using a material somewhat like a ribbon, more stretchier. So that's what I'll be using. You'll need about 4 pieces cut up and about 4 inches long. And then also, when we go through and actually make the bag, we're going to go ahead and cut the straps out. So I don't know the sizes yet, but I'll let you know once we get to that particular part. So, again, pretty sides facing each other. And then we're going to take one of those 4-inch straps. Here we go. Take one of those. We're going to fold it in half. Fold that in half. And this side is going to go inside of those pretty sides up. So we're going to take it. I'm going to put this face down and inside the bag. Now, I've already marked where I'm going to put my pieces, and let me show you, just before we do that, let me show you how I did that. What I did was I took the piece of fabric, I folded it in half to get that middle point. Once I found that middle point, I measured out 4 inches from each side. So when I measured out 4 inches, I went ahead and marked it, measured out another 4 inches, and went ahead and marked it. So I have two marks you probably can't really see, but one right here and then also one right here. And that's where I'm going to actually place my strips. So, again, you want to take the strips. I almost forgot this. Don't forget this because you can't put these in afterwards. You're going to take that strips, you're going to go ahead and slide that hook through. So it's like this. And it's going to be like this, as you can see. And this side is going inside of those pretty fabrics. So I'm going to find my mark, which is right here, place it on top of the mark. I'm going to leave probably about 1/4 of an inch out. And then I'm going to put that pretty, remember, pretty sides facing down on top of that little buckle. And then I'm going to pin in place. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. As you can see, I went ahead and pinned that in place. And let me show you just what it looks like on the inside. Just like that. So, there we go. And I'm going to do the other side. Alright. So, went ahead, pinned both of them in place. And then, just to show you what it's going to look like on the inside, it should look like this. Alright, so we're going to have to do these to both pieces of fabric, so I'll go ahead and do that. And then once you get done with pinning those in, what you're going to want to do is make probably 1/4 of an inch seam right along this edge right here. So it's going to go all the way down across the fabric. So 1/4 inch probably seam is good enough. Go ahead and do it all the way down this fabric. So I'll do that and then I'll return it to you guys so you can see the finished result. Okay, so I've come back and I'm going to show you the result. So like again, I sewed along that little seam about 1/4 of an inch all the way down. And this is that end result. And I did that for both pieces of fabric. And now we're just going to turn those inside out like this. 2 buckles sticking out like this. And now what I'm going to do is basically just iron this out so this edge is nice and neat. So make it like this and just iron that part out so it's nice and neat and it's not flapping everywhere. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that side piece, those 2 side pieces I'm going to take for the outside pocket. I'm going to take that outer fabric and that inner fabric, those 16 by 7 inch pieces, and I'm going to put them pretty sides facing each other, which is this. And I am going to sew around the whole piece of fabric, leaving about, well, not the whole piece, but also all the way around the edges until I get to about here. And I'll leave an opening about 4 inches wide along that side edge so I can turn the fabric inside out. I'll do that and then I'll let you guys, I'll come back and let you guys see the end result. So welcome back. I'm just going to show you what I did. So again, I went ahead and ironed those pieces out, and then I just sewed a line right across the top to just make it look a little cleaner and make sure those pieces stay down in there. I did that with both pieces of fabric. I also went ahead and did what I told you guys to do. Went ahead and take that side piece and sewed right along all the way around until I got to this part, which I left open so I can go ahead and turn that fabric out. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to go ahead and turn that fabric out. So you just gently turn it inside out like I am doing. Make sure you get all of those little bitty corners out. Anything left in there. If it's easier for you to get a pencil or a pen and just poke it out, that's fine. Alright. Alright. So, there we go. We have that piece turned inside out now. That's that inner fabric side and then the outer fabric. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and iron this piece down so it's nice and flat. What I'll do is I'll put this piece, or actually before I put this piece on, I'll iron it out, and then what I am going to do is I decided that I want the bottom part of my bag flat. So what I've already done, I'm just going to show you what I did, was I just took a pencil and I took a ruler to get that bottom of the bag flat. I'm going to have to cut some pieces out. So I put a square that's about 2 inches high and 2 inches wide. right on the bottom of the bag. I don't know if you can see that, but right on the bottom, 2 inches high, 2 inches wide. And I did that on the corners. I drew that on the corners of my bag. And this is on the inside, so they won't be able to see it. But the inside of the bag and also on these pieces. So all together you should have a square here, 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 and here. And then you should have the same thing on that other piece. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut out those squares that you made, because this will make the bag flat and that inner fabric also flat too. So you're going to just cut them out. Once you cut them out, I'll show you what to do with your ironed out piece. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut out those squares at the bottom of the bags and also on that other fabric, the inner fabric. Now, and I've also went ahead, since I flipped mine inside out, I went ahead and flipped that pocket out like I told you guys to do, and I just folded that top half down and I pinned it in place about in the middle of the bag. I went ahead and just left this open. We're going to tuck that in, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew right along this edge. And I'm probably going to do that with some brown thread, and then I have that lighter color thread going around this pocket right here. Closing this up by just tucking it in like this, just folding that fabric under. See if I can get it good. Folding it under like this and then sewing right along there. And then I'll just go ahead and make sure when you are sewing this pocket on, when you are sewing the pocket on, you're just sewing the outer fabric. You're not including that inner fabric piece, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, sew that on, and then we're gonna work on our snap. For me, I'm just gonna place it right here in the middle of my bag, probably about an inch down, and it's just gonna go right in here. So about right here, I'll put that in there. And then I'll go ahead and do that and come back and show you guys that end result so we can finish up what I've done. I went ahead and sewed that pouch or pocket onto the bag, the outside of the bag. Remember, I did not include that part, so just this, the inner fabric is not included. Then I also went ahead and put my snaps in. The snaps are easy to put in. All you do is just follow the directions that they give you for those specific snaps. Alright, so next, what we're going to do is we're going to take it and put it like this. So we're going to have both of those outer fabrics pretty sides facing each other, and then we're going to have both of the inner fabrics pretty sides facing each other. So it's going to be like this, and then we're going to do the same thing I just said. I'm just going to sew around here, sew here, and sew here. Do not sew anything in this area yet. Do not sew around that box yet. And then we're going to do the same thing for this top fabric. However, for the top fabric, I would leave about a 4 inches of it open, because we're going to need that to go ahead and sew our bag closed. We're going to need that to sew our bag closed, but also we're going to need it to go ahead and turn the bag inside out so we can see it the right way. So again, just sew along those edges, not including these boxes, and I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll return to show you guys the results. Okay, so now I have went ahead, I've sewed along those edges. I told you not to sew on those boxes yet, and I got a little carried away, and I went ahead and finished mine off, as you can see. However, I didn't show you how to do that. Sorry about that, I got carried away, I really did. But what I'll try to do is go ahead and show you what I did. So I'm going to show you with another piece of fabric. So remember you had this box that I told you not to sew around? So in order to get that box to close, to get that flat bottom like we wanted, you have to go ahead and open it, bend it. So let's say you'll have your flat box like this. You're going to have to open up these sides and flatten them like this. And then you would just sew along this edge right here, which is what I did. I sewed along the edge. You can see it, but I sewed along the edge like this. So again, I'm so sorry about forgetting to walk you guys through that, but you have your box. Open that box up like that. Flatten it out and just sew along the edge there. Once you do that, you can go ahead, you're going to have this like this, and you're going to have that hole that you left open. You're going to go ahead and pull the fabric over. So turn it inside out through that little hole that you have. Show you what I'm doing. Just turning it out, inside out. Be careful not to rip the seams that you put in there. So be very gentle when you're doing it. Out. Out. And flip this part out. Stick my hand through here and kind of push this out. So, stick that in there, and you see we have that front part of the purse, the back part, our buckles. So we're almost pretty much done. You can snap it. It's pretty much almost done. So now all we have to do, as you can see also it sits up straight. So now all we have to do is add in those straps. And you're going to need that ribbon that I told you, or whatever type of strap material that you want to use. And it's up to you to measure how long you want your straps. So it just depends. For me, I'm going to stick this through and kind of give an estimate on what I want. So like this, stick it through this one. I think this should be a good amount. So for my straps are going to be about 22 inches long. So I'll need 2 of these. So I'll just cut that middle part right there. And what I'm going to do is pretty much stick, get a little closer, but I'm going to stick this through here. Stick that through there, fold it under once, and then I'm just going to sew along that edge there, and then I'm going to connect it to the other side the same way as this side. And then you're going to do the same thing to the other side. Come back on and show you exactly the finished product. So I finished putting the straps on. Here you go. So as you can see, it's pretty much done. The last thing that we have to do is to close in that gap that we pulled the fabric through. How we're going to do that is we're basically just going to take this, fold it in. Just going to take that inside fabric. I know it's brown, so it's kind of hard to see. But we're going to take that inside fabric and fold it in like this. And then we're just gonna sew along that edge all the way down until it's closed. So I'll go ahead and do that. See how I did that? I just sewed that right shut. It's kind of messy right here, but I just showed it shut. And then that's pretty much it. And you have your cute little bag, and it took a while, couple of minutes, but it wasn't bad. As you see, there's that front bag, and then there's the back of it. Cute bag. Remember to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.